A new After Effects plugin gives your paths superpowers, a 3D artist demystifies forced perspective renders, and an interdimensional alien explains the math behind blurs. It's Motion Mondays, and I got Toto tickets, so you know what that means. That means it's time to...
I bless the rains down in Africa. Gonna take some time to do those things we never had.
Last week, EJ talked about Unreal 5.6, and CG Pro just dropped a recording of David Grolnick, Senior Product Specialist at Epic Games, from his NAB presentation earlier this year. The recording quality is a little rough, but the content is solid gold for anyone interested in broadcast graphics. New motion design system features include delay properties for ripple effects, texture-based displacement with media textures for video-driven animation, and Photoshop import that preserves layers, which is going to be really helpful for broadcast design. But the real MVP? Data link features that let you update graphics with live data from sources like Google Sheets, making scorebox-style graphics way easier to manage. There are also improvements to 3D text handling and a bunch of other goodies, so check it out and watch for our upcoming Unreal for Broadcast Design course launching later this year. There's always been multiple ways to add motion blur in post, but now there's an AI way that promises to be fast and high quality. AI motion blur from AE Scripts plus AE plugins. Looks like a really great option for anyone needing to add motion blur in post. The results in the demo videos are incredible, and being AI based, you get way fewer weird artifacts than you'd get with pixel motion blur or even real smart motion blur. This could be super useful for 3D renders where you don't want to take the render hit of motion blur, or maybe you've got high shutter speed footage that just needs to feel more fluid. It's 25% off until June 13th, so blur the line between good and great while you can. This looks like a solid addition to anyone's post-production toolkit for motion blur headaches. Our All Access program is growing faster than my hatred of olives.
Unless the rain's down in Africa, gonna take some time to do those things we never had.
Wild stat. Since the beginning of the year, our teaching assistants have critiqued over 4,000 student projects. That's a lot of red ink and constructive feedback flying around. All Access is possibly the world's only interactive, learn at your own pace online school where you get hundreds of hours of training in After Effects, Cinema 4D, Blender, Unreal, Rive, and more, plus real-world projects with personalized feedback from professional motion designers. Doing critique at this scale is kind of our secret sauce and why our students get such great results. We're dropping Premiere for Motion Designers this month, plus we have 6 other courses in production, including Rive Academy Volume 2, which is already 6 hours long. We had our monthly portfolio review last Thursday, and our second live workshop for All Access members happens next Thursday. So if you're thinking of joining, now is a great time. The Primates over at Grayscale Gorilla released Plus Renamer for Plus members, and it's here to spark joy in your messy object manager. This tool borrowed some of Figma's brilliant renaming concepts to create a flexible powerhouse for Cinema 4D that'll let you batch rename objects using tokens and power tools. Features include matching and renaming specific parts of object names, adding prefixes or suffixes, and organizing things exactly how you want. Because nothing says professional workflow like cube.47.final.final.actually_final.cube. The more complicated your scenes get, the more you'll appreciate this kind of organization. If you're a Plus member, check it out. If not, here's another reason to join the banana party. Rive's Early Access just added image data binding, which basically lets you set up animation templates where you can swap raster images on the fly, and they inherit the same motion. Set up your animation once, and then let different images ride along for the journey. Since it's all real time and can be driven by simple code at runtime, it's incredibly powerful for UI animations, websites, and any work where you're building templates that need consistent animation across lots of assets. The data binding toolset in Rive is getting more powerful by the day, adding features that make artists and developers' lives easier. I think the Rive train is just going to keep chugging along. So we'll keep covering it. Rive Academy Volume 2 is dropping soon, so stay tuned for that. Time to spotlight some great work from around the industry. First up is Kinisi, a Greek studio that came across my radar. Their website is amazing. Lots of motion, beautiful design, and you instantly get hit with this grid of gorgeous imagery. Right off the bat, you know you're gonna get something excellent. Kinisi Showreel is an incredible blend of 2D, 3D, choppy animated on-2 stuff, character animation, and great typography. They've kind of got it all. It made me happy to watch because I love discovering new talent that wasn't on my radar before, and now Kinisi definitely is, and their work will make you want to book a trip to Athens just to shake their hands and maybe get some baklava. Studios like this remind me why I love scouring the internet for talent. Next up, the design blog Colossal featured this insane anamorphic animation in Seoul, Korea, apparently part of the world's largest anamorphic illusion. This piece was designed by District, an experiential design company with some crazy work on their website. This screen spans 80 meters long and 20 meters tall, and even though my American brain doesn't understand meters, I know that that's not a screen. That's a large building with pixels. I can only imagine what this looks like in person, but I'm guessing it's somewhere between holy and what was in those brownies?
I'm freaking out, man.
I love these optical illusion pieces of motion design, and I always wonder how they're done. More on that in a moment. Finally, the geniuses at Panoply worked with Hyperice and Nike, teaming up with Somaform Studios to create this incredible spot, revealing the Hyperboot, a $900 shoe. Yes, $900. It's a shoe for serious athletes' warm-up and recovery routines. I think they look cool, but I'm not dropping Cybertruck payment money on footwear just yet. But forget the shoe price for a moment, let's talk about the spot. I am a sucker for technical 3D executions on shoe commercials, but what I really love here is how it seamlessly blends 2D elements and graphic designy compositions with clean type and a muted color palette. It's very restrained, but captivating, the kind of work you can watch 10 times and spot something new each viewing. Great work from an awesome studio that really knows how to make technical work feel artistic. I mentioned I was curious about how these optical illusion pieces get created. Lucky for us, Madrid-based freelance 3D artist Alina Zykina, who has an absurdly gorgeous portfolio site, made a brilliant 2-minute tutorial on how she pulled off one of these projects for some Times Square screens. This is very, very clever. She uses Cinema 4D's camera calibrator to work out exact camera placement and focal length settings, builds proxy geometry for the screens, then essentially creates a cutout world to animate inside. After rendering, she brings it into After Effects and uses corner pin to remove perspective, creating distorted renders that look perfect when viewed from the correct angle. It's incredibly clever, and the fact that she explained all of this in 2 minutes makes it even more impressive. So give her a follow, this tutorial is gold. Spline added progressive blur and gradients to Hana, their 2D interaction tool. It's like Rive's simpler cousin, fewer features, but easier to start with for basic website interactions. And the team has been developing it pretty quickly since it launched. One cool thing about Spline is they always make nice demo scenes you can copy into your account and reverse engineer. The progressive blur creates some neat effects, though performance doesn't touch Rive's vector blur. There's some really cool ideas in these demos and really nice designs from the Spline team. I'm impressed with Hana's progress so far, and we will keep watching and keep you posted. Speaking of progressive blur, how do blurs even work?
Water, fire, air, and dirt. Fucking magnets, how do they work?
If only there was some alien from another dimension who could explain it. Luckily, Captain Disillusion delivered 10 minutes of blur mathematics that's somehow both educational and hilarious. He gets into absurd levels of detail about image processing and visual effects in a style that's weird, clever, and also incredibly informative. If you don't know Captain Disillusion, then say goodbye to any plans you had today, as you'll be binge watching his videos. Before becoming an interdimensional alien, he was a working visual effects artist, so he really knows his stuff. Understanding how your tools work under the hood isn't always necessary, but sometimes it's useful to get down to the bare metal of how the tools you use every day actually function. Plus, I might have found my new Halloween costume. Time for our School of Motion Student of the Week, Tim Burlingham from LA, currently working through After Effects Kickstart with TA Bailey DeRoche. Tim went above and beyond on the Arrows Journey assignment. This is typically one of the first simple exercises students do while learning After Effects, but Tim said, "Hold up, let me cook!" He created something fairly epic with a soundtrack, transitions between shots, and extra animation details we never taught in the preceding lesson. This embodies what I love about School of Motion students, going completely overboard and turning a simple exercise into performance art. Tim, excellent job. I can't wait to see what you do once you finish Kickstart and have real After Effects skills under your belt. Good Boy Ninja doesn't drop plugins often, but when they do, they're always bangers. Their newest tool, Railway for After Effects, lets you attach layers to paths and animate them in tons of different ways. With one click, layers get parented to path points, then you can animate them along the path, move them back and forth, and even derail them from the path. Layers automatically orient along paths, so everything attached to the beginning and the end orients properly. If you use Cinema 4D's Align to Spline, this is similar, but with all the controls you need for After Effects animation. It reminds me of the old Wayfinder plugin, but like Wayfinder on steroids.
Is it enough? Gone! There it is! 62! Touch first, Mark!
Railway is currently 15% off, so hop aboard the Railway train before it leaves the station. Yeah, that's 2 toot-toots in this episode. I probably should not try for a third. I realized I haven't talked Blender tools yet, so here's UV Plus for Blender, calling itself the fastest UV workflow, though, of course, that's what it would say, tooting its own horn. But tool creator CG Matter sweetens the deal by offering 20% off with code UV+. UV Unwrapping has been torturing 3D artists since the dawn of time, and there are a million tools trying to help. UV+ looks like a fast, simple solution. It may not have fancy algorithms for super detailed work, but for quick UVs with basic tools, it gets the job done well. I like that it shows UV map efficiency in percentages, so you can maximize texture resolution. And since it's procedural, you can modify UVs on the fly and change stuff as needed. Seems very useful for Blender artists, so check it out at the link in the description. Pixel Lab launched Toon Studio for Redshift with 100 shaders for anime, comics, sci-fi, and various artist styles. It's drag and drop simplicity for creating gorgeous renders. Looking at the promo video, you can achieve all kinds of looks: inky, sketchy stuff, painted looks, sci-fi vibes, and that Spider-Verse glitchy, hand-drawn aesthetic. Shaders like these are very technical to build from scratch, so if you're doing non-photorealistic rendering with Redshift, this saves a ton of time. Pixel Lab stuff is always high quality, and at $85, this is a solid value, so time to get your Toon on. One last story, and this one sucks. So last week we lost Tony Novak, Chief Technical Officer and co-founder of Too Advanced Studios. Tony and his co-founder Eric were recently on our podcast discussing Too Advanced history and future. Too Advanced influenced an entire generation of motion designers, myself included. Meeting Tony and talking about Too Advanced was a real honor, so learning of his passing was heartbreaking. My thoughts go out to his family, Eric, and everyone who knew Tony. He left quite a mark on the world, and as we say in my family, may his memory be a blessing. And that is Motion Mondays. People, hug your loved ones. Check out everything we talked about at the links in the description. Don't forget that our second all-access live workshop is next Thursday for members. And subscribe to this channel so you don't miss anything awesome coming up, like the replay of my AEPDX keynote dropping later this week. Peace.